We're back.
Hey, homies, we're back.
Hey,
Oh, it's been an absolute minute.
It's been a while.
It has.
And
But
there's
mistakes
reasons
were
for that.
made. Technically, I take responsibility for them. We may or may not have already recorded all of the letter N and O, but that was also like a month ago, so I don't think we actually remember where we did anything.
Don't remember it. All I remember is we were so polarized, and it was so funny. So let's hope we remember the vibes of where we put these things.
Yeah, I do have a screenshot, so we can always go back and compare how off we were. But we're starting off with a kind of a sleeper passive, which is Natural Order.
On Elder Titan, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's one of those abilities that you want to have some sort of combo with, like Sleight of Fist or something like that, because it will apply the Natural Order when you're hitting them with Sleight. And yeah, besides that, I don't really ever pick Natural Order.
You gotta be melee. The radius is only 350.
Yeah, you don't get the reduction with the magic resist. So
just the physical armor reduction.
Generally 3 to 4.
Yeah,
I'd say
definitely
generally
it
is a last pick. And
yeah.
sometimes doesn't get picked if there's a better ability for evasion or stun or something.
All right, so I'm looking at passives in 3 to 4, and I see Lucky Shot.
I see Blur.
I see Blade Dance, Desolate.
It's probably around that.
Could be lower, honestly.
Yeah,
Lower
I
than
agree.
Blade Dance? Yeah. Lower than Desolate.
Lower than Lucky Shot?
Lower than Lucky
Probably.
Shot, maybe. Yeah, let's do that.
I'm thinking like there.
Yeah, let's throw it way down.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Nature's Attendance. Not the best ability in the world.
No.
Unless you're an Ench and with the Overprotective Wisps facet,
Which
you...
does make it almost a deny pick. Sometimes it's like a third pick deny pick. So
Yeah.
the Ench doesn't
It can
get
be,
it.
yeah.
If you have like a really scary Ench on the enemy team, you know, she picks up like Impetus and some other right-click passive, and then you see the Nature's Attendance getting to her, it's sometimes worth stealing just so she isn't like basically immune to your spells early game. But that said, I think it's situationally reasonable at best.
It's never a spell you're going to pick up and like want this spell.
No.
See? Yeah.
We've had a couple of people try it recently. You know, Ethan picked it, and there was very little impact because you have to be on top of the hero to really receive the like full benefit of the Nature's Attendance heals.
I'm not sure he knew how that worked either. Because I'm telling him to stand on
It's
it.
a meme spell. You're not... Just don't draft this unless you have to deny it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it near the other Ench ability and situationally reasonable because it looks nice beside it, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fine, I guess. I think it's worse than Healing Ward.
All right, Sean has spoken.
Well, the next ability might as well be either in that or unpicked or griefing.
Well, yeah, Nature's Call is really, you can say, Ironwood Treant facet on Nature's Prophet or don't even bother.
Yeah, literally.
I don't know. Some people go like, I'm going to go rearm with Nature's Call and split push. And
Zoo with something.
it never really seems to work. I know some people think that Chen gaming and unit push is something you can do in AD, and I would just recommend not.
No, it's probably not going to work.
Yeah, so I think this is probably an unpicked, because unless you're playing Nature's Prophet, just don't
you're
pick
not
it.
gonna get it,
Don't feed the enemy team Treant Gold.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I can put it maybe like mid-tier on this.
Yeah, I don't mind it being...
Compared to the stuff around it,
It's probably
I mean, we have
worse.
it's like Call of the Wild Hawk, but slightly worse. But
Yeah.
Are we going to keep it down, though, in the...
unpicked, it is almost always.
It is almost always
let's
unpicked.
go unpicked then.
Yeah.
That's not good.
All right, next up is Nature's Grasp. This is, I don't know, not a very amazing spell. It's usually a fourth pick on like a support build.
Yep. Slow. Area denial in a way.
Good for farming waves, I guess.
Kind of. It's
sometimes.
barely good
It's
for
not
that,
much
honestly.
damage.
It's like a slow tick. You're still going to have to secure the creep with your attack.
Yeah, that's
Probably.
true. I don't know. I don't think this ability is usually generally picks 3 to 4, but you could put it in situationally reasonable if you're trying to really put it in the dirt.
I think it needs to be pretty in the dirt.
Really? I think 3 to 4 is an okay spot.
Yeah,
for it.
low 3 to 4.
What if we
then.
put it near Leech Seed?
Yeah, I was thinking
In a
near
different
Aether
way.
Shock.
Yeah?
It's like equally as exciting as Aether Shock to me, where you get it fourth pick on your support build and you hope that you're able to kill creeps.
Yeah. It's definitely worse than Frost Blast. We even got Frost Blast down there. That's pretty low. But yeah, we'll
We
put
need
it-
to reconsider this because like Dead Shot's too low as well.
Arcane
with
Curse
the
is
eggs
too
and
low.
stuff. Yeah, there's been changes that have been made. We realize this, guys. We will go back to this at some point. I swear.
Yeah.
Now that we're back on the content grind.
So yeah, let's throw it like below
50 videos a week.
below Fade Bolt or something.
Yeah, below Fade Bolt. I like
I'm
it.
fine with that. Generally picks 3 to 4.
All right, next up is Nether Blast. This is one of the rare spells that actually pushes towers.
It's good.
Um,
Spam.
it's 5-second cooldown. You really have to have a high int to abuse this.
Or be Huskar, which we saw in a game, which was pretty broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything that lets you spam spells means that Nether Blast is going to be better. I don't know if it like gets into situationally reasonable. I don't know if it's that bad. I think it's probably in generally picks 3 to 4.
I think it's definitely 3 to 4. I think it's solid.
I think it's top end of 3 to 4.
Okay,
It could honestly be 2 to 3.
mm,
Like, I really think it could be 2 to 3. Like, if
If there's a lobby of 8 int heroes, maybe.
You kind of have to be an in hero.
we have concussive shot in 2 to 3.
I think
That's
you
a
could go
good
bottom
spell,
2
though.
to 3 though, maybe at the most.
Mm.
65% damage to structures.
That
I
is
think that's-
really the ticket to this.
It's better than
spell's
Cookie.
success. Is it better than Cookie?
That thing does damage to towers.
I'd
Oh,
rather
sure,
have a
player.
Cookie.
I'd
most
rather
of
have
the time.
Cookie.
320.
I would really only take Nether Blast if I'm playing a mid hero that's spell casting, which is like
I like a
Very
near
infrequent.
Crypt Swarm there.
Alright.
Diabolic Edict there as well. It's
Sure,
like
I'm fine
a niche
putting it
pushing
there.
spell.
Yeah,
I like
a pushing
it,
spell.
yeah.
We got a pushing spell, a little grouping.
that's good. All right, next up is Nether Strike.
One of the Nether abilities, if you watched the game show, how hard it is to name all the Nether abilities.
Yeah, that is true.
We are about to go through the Nether abilities. That is very true. Nether Strike is one of those abilities that actually doesn't really function unless you have Greater Bash.
Yep.
So I want to say it's an actively bad unless pairing because this is kind of fitting that definition.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've never really seen Nether Strike be a high tier pick ever in
No.
any lobby. So
Yeah, it'll be your final pick, and you're like forced to picking it because
yeah,
literally.
it's like, are you gonna take the Eclipse that does nothing, Visage Birds and micro them, or get
Yeah.
Nether Strike? And you're like, all right, I don't want to micro Visage Birds.
Yeah,
I'll get Nether Strike.
literally.
Next up is Nether Swap. This ability I think has
better.
gone up.
Controversy.
Yeah, controversy doesn't give you a
Controversy.
shield,
Sean,
guys.
highlight the ability.
Damage slash shield. Slash shield. Joel's vindicated once again.
Oh, no.
We understand.
No, if anybody gets that reference,
Yeah,
you've been through it with us.
yeah. You listened to us bicker for like a 45-minute window. Thank you.
Shout out Jack McCarthy.
There you go.
Shout out Jack McCarthy the day one.
All right.
He
so
knows, he knows.
Nether Swap. I'm gonna say is generally picks 2 to 3.
I think it's definitely in the 2 to 3 for sure.
It's
yeah.
amazing for saving. It's a good initiation tool. It's one of those abilities that can counter other abilities like Chrono and like Bat
Black
Rider
hole
Lasso.
or something.
Yeah, Bat Rider. Pierces BKB, so sometimes that's like needed against certain abilities.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're never like super hyped to pick it. It just kind of slides into your build in like a pick 2 to 3, depending on the lobby power level. So I'd put it like, I don't know, somewhere near maybe like middle 2 to 3, like next to like homing missile.
Yeah.
Or is that too
it's-
low? What do you think, Sean?
I don't think it's too low necessarily. It's definitely better than a lot of these alts that are in the like bottom 15 abilities in 2 to 3.
Is it better than Arena, Sean?
Oh,
Oh wow, we're gonna bring
Definitely
back the
not.
arena comparison.
definitely not. Do you remember when we just got 3v0'd against our arena?
Arena can be really impactful. If you hit a big swap in a team fight, it's not going to be the same impact as a big arena in a team fight.
Yeah.
Depending.
You can target one
Depending.
isolated person, but
Maybe,
not
yeah.
many. One person maybe, but not.
I
not
think
many.
personally the best use of Nether Swap in AD is normally to swap out your ranged carry from dying.
It's like a save. more
Yeah,
than an aggressive
because-
spell.
Most of the time in AD you're reliant on some sort of fragile ranged carry, and if you're able to save them, then that does a lot in a fight. So yeah, what are we thinking?
I like it somewhere near homing missile, Bramble Maze area.
Higher than arena.
Yeah. I don't know. Arena purchase BKB
Let us
and
know
it
in the
doesn't do
comments.
anything.
Let us know in your
It
comments.
could be a little. That's fine. I like it.
All right.
Yeah,
Next up is Nether Ward. This is kind of a counter pick more than anything.
it's almost situationally reasonable, but I don't think it belongs there. I think it does go 2 to 3 because it is a solid thing. But obviously, in some games where you're against spellcaster and heroes, this thing can shut down the team.
Yeah.
Just shut them down.
Combos with rearm.
It's good against Pugna's own abilities. So
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
You know, type of deal. It's
If you have life drain, you can get the shard. Kind of a techie thing, but
That is techie.
rearm Nether Ward. We've seen it.
I did say
it's really messed up.
It is kind of crazy, but that's such
I think it's generally picks 3 to 4. I don't think it breaches 2 to 3.
No.
So
it's just like a
But-
utility.
What is it like? Because we have to look at the tier list. You know, where would we put it? What is it like? It's basically like, well, first of all, it's something you place, so
It's
it's
a pretty
unlike
unique
most
ability.
things.
I think
but
it's near like
area
cold feet.
denial, kind of some damage, but more of like a threat,
I think that's pretty
Right?
high. I think it's a little worse than that.
Okay, all right. Where would you put it then?
like arcane curse.
Yeah, Arcane Curse needs to be moved up. We get it. I know.
Let's put it. I don't mind it near Arcane Curse. Like
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just trying.
just below Arcane Curse.
Sure.
lower end of 3 to 4. You don't pick it.
Because
if
some
you-
games it's just terrible. Like
You're against 3 strength heroes. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you take it so that you don't play against it too.
That's
right.
also
true, yeah.
So yeah. Next up is Nether Toxin. Now this one kind of has fallen off a bit since they got rid of the break mechanic and put it on the Viper Strike.
Definitely.
It's still really good for farming. I feel like this is one of those abilities that you can just like push out waves with unlimited early game, and no one can really have a say because you can't really like contest someone just
No.
Nether Toxining a wave and running away.
It's basically just for farming, though. It's not really going to be like a... Unless you have a lot of AoE lockdown and team fights, you're throwing it down, it's still going to... I don't know. It won't do anything crazy for you, but...
No, I think it's kind of similar to Acid Spray, but maybe a little bit better. So maybe like bottom of picks 3 to 4.
Yeah, I think it's better than Acid Spray.
It does have the attack
Maybe.
speed slow and
Barely.
well,
It's barely better
it's
than Acid
barely
Spray.
better, but
You
yeah,
could put it like Ion Shell. Like it's similar to
It's
a farming
a lot
mechanic for
smaller
Ion
AoE.
Shell.
yeah, it's more efficient though. I think the cooldown's like 14 seconds and then 8-second duration, so you only have a 6-second downtime. Where I think
70 mana.
Acid Spray is a bit longer in between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably good, yeah.
Next up is Nightmare.
Pretty good.
Yeah, Nightmare
Really
is
good.
if you're in like a 5 stack, it gets a little better because then you can go, I'm Nightmaring this guy, don't fucking hit him. In a normal game though, with a couple randoms, sometimes Nightmare can be a big.
It's
Can
hard to
be a
even cast,
nightmare.
yeah.
Whoa!
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Nightmare can be a nightmare.
Definitely.
It does ironically cancel grip, which is kind of funny. So like basically, if you're in a game with a Bane model, you're always gonna have at least one grip counter in the lobby. It is really good if you're on a Bane and you're playing Bane carry, because Bane carry is totally viable and kind of shreds people with the one facet where he can attack heroes that are nightmared faster.
Yep.
If you're one of those heroes that just like pops a Mask of Madness and fulls the 0 summon in a nightmare, it's pretty good, but it's very niche.
It is.
So
I still like it though. It's...
yeah, where are you thinking?
I mean, it always reminds me of Astral Imprisonment whenever I think of this spell. Where do we have Astral?
I think Astral's in picks 2 to 3. Yeah, there it is.
Oh my god, we got it pretty high.
Well,
So
I
it's
think
gotta be-
Nightmare said picks 2 to 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's
Yeah.
a better Astral kind of because it's more potential.
Joel, what are you thinking? Better
I
than
could
Ice
put it-
Path or one of those abilities next to it?
No, I'd put it higher. I'd put it up where we have this Bramble Maze homing missile stun kind of.
Back to the same little
It's a
pocket.
stun, but kind of has like some save capacity to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. all
So
right.
it could honestly be more like a Phonic Shield for that reason, less save capacity. But
It is not
it
a hard
depends.
dispel like a
yeah,
Phonic Shield.
yeah, it
so.
takes a little bit more skill than a Phonic Shield.
Yeah.
Know when to take it off, put it on.
Know when to put it on your ally to disjoint something.
It also depends on their skill level. If they're taking it off someone immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, here's a tip for all the gamers out there. If you're a support and your carry gets nightmared, it's usually worth taking the nightmare off of your carry, guys.
Yes. Definitely.
I know you won't be able to like use your level 2 Dagon or whatever that you griefed your team with, but
Your minus will be not ticking.
yeah, but your carry will be able to probably have more impact in the fight. So just keep that one in mind.
Yeah, you can't let your carry get full nightmare for 6.5 seconds and expect to win the game.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Noxious Plague. Honestly, this is one of those abilities that I still don't really know how it functions because it's not, what is it, Poison Nova anymore.
No.
It does max HP as damage. I do know that part.
Percent based is good.
So it's good against some of those big kind of strength heroes that you'll go up against in AD. And it does spread sometimes. I don't really know when. Is it when you're on a...
If you have the Facet Patient 0, it
Okay,
spreads.
yeah.
Twice.
That's the one. So if you're on a Veno, I think it gets a little more reasonable, and you also get some talents. I guess the dirty little secret of AD is every ability is usually better on the model that it's tailored for. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But yes, Noxious Plague is still probably generally picks 3 to 4. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a pretty low tier alt.
It's never like a priority to take in the alt pool ever. So.
It's like all the other good alts have been taking what's left. That's when you look at it.
Yeah, it's kind of similar.
You have Soulbind in your team and you're throwing out a Noxious Plague.
That's true. That is a
best
big
case
one.
scenario.
Yeah,
it's kind of near like Mystic Flare to me, where I think you can pick it up kind of late in the draft and it'll have impact because it does a lot of damage in a fight, but it's never going to be like the winning game factor
Probably
that
not,
other alts can have, you know?
No.
So
I think that's a good spot for it.
yeah,
that other alt.
next to Mystic Flare.
Yep.
All right, after that we have Omni Slash. Now Omni Slash is the first O. Yeah,
Oh.
this is a ability that unless you're on a jug can kind of be a little throwy.
Definitely.
You need to have some
Yes.
attack speed. It really only synergizes with attack speed and can kind of grief a fight if it like goes to a creep wave that's
It's so
nearby.
RNG, like positioning has to be perfect.
Yeah,
It's
but
just-
it can't fall to 0 someone if they're caught solo. So
That's true. It's good for like also you cast it. Obviously, you're completely immune, so you can't die while you're casting it. So it lets you survive for a little longer.
has a good eggs.
The eggs is decent, yeah.
Swift Slash is always kind of impactful because just being able to go invulnerable for a second during the fight.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But that all being said, it's not really great on a ranged core all that much. AD is a ranged meta. We know this.
Yeah.
I think it's probably generally picks 2 to 3 most games because you're getting it on a melee core or maybe sometimes a ranged core third pick if you really need like a physical damage dealing alt.
Yeah.
You'll first pick it on jug sometimes.
Yeah, you'll first pick it on jug just to have it. I'll be honest, I do that all the time on jug model just because the jug model's kind of mid.
Yeah.
So, but I think it is probably generally picks 2 to 3.
Yeah.
We have a lot of alts at the bottom of 2 to 3 here, I'm noticing.
It's better than some of these at the bottom.
It's better than some of them.
Is it better than Nether Swap that we just put in? Probably.
No, I don't think
On
so.
a base level?
On a base level, no. The ceiling is
worse.
higher.
I think it's worse, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's worse than like
as
a
bad
Fire
as
Remnant.
Ghost Ship. Fire Remnant.
I think
Probably
it's worse
around-
or it's even worse than like it's kind of similar to Battle Trance, honestly.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
All right.
So
But it's worse than Arena, right? Are we?
Is it? It's
Is
close.
it?
It's close.
Arena's just getting shoved down.
Dude,
the
what
list
happened? Arena
slowly.
used to be the medium, like...
Arena is still medium.
True.
Arena is still medium.
We broke those categories
We
up,
did
so
break
it
those
was,
categories.
yeah,
That's true.
It is the medium.
All right, next up is Onslaught. This is I don't know, the 4th pick of all 4th picks. So like makes it so you don't have to buy a Blink Dagger on your initiating hero.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those movement abilities that it's like, okay, there's a couple movement abilities in the lobby. This is one.
Yeah.
A strength core usually picks it up to get in or out. Like it's decent in that regard. The ability itself, pretty long. That's the one good thing. It can go really far.
Mhm.
The charge up time isn't the best, but honestly, it's not the worst if you're
if you go,
coherent.
if you go through the entire team fight and stun like
Yeah.
a bunch of people, it's pretty high impact.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like you just had to charge of darkness through the team fight if you bash. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it for getting out mostly because it's like a great disengaging tool as
That's
well.
true.
So I think it's generally picks 3 to 4, but on the low end again. I don't think it's that exciting, and I think you're normally 4th picking it.
Well, I would relate to Illusory
I
Orb.
don't know.
I do
Very
think
similar
Orb's
to Illusory Orb.
yeah.
What is
Honestly, I
better?
think it's pretty decent. I think it's like close to
Wow, we have Doppel right beside Illusory Orb. That's
We
insane.
must have thought of that one.
maybe
at the
close
time.
to Echo Slash or something.
Sure.
Okay.
Takui would take issue with Blink Strike being in generally picks 3 to 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
shout out
way
to
too
Takui,
low.
our homie there. We gotta give Takui a shout out here. You guys-
Definitely.
he'll be reviewing this tier list soon. We'll have an episode dedicated to Takui reviewing.
There you
The final
go.
review.
Yeah, we'll lock him into that. I'm sure he'll agree.
Get Daddy's approval.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Open Wounds. This is one that you probably don't need to draft most of the time because you just get it for free with Infest.
Yeah, that's
For
like
some
the main
reason.
time you're gonna have this spell. Is
If
you
you
have
draft
Infest.
this, it's honestly griefing almost. It's almost griefing. If there's
Yeah.
nothing else in the lobby,
I mean-
and it's like
But as its own spell,
It's not horrible.
it's
Yeah.
not horrible.
it's like you basically get a little satanic for like
Yeah.
7 seconds on a target.
And you also get the heal though. I'm pretty sure it's from any damage type, so it's not just right clicks.
That's true. That's true.
But it's weird.
Very
like that.
situational though.
It is very situational.
This is not something that you want to take early in any situation.
No.
No, I think it's situationally reasonable.
Low though.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Situationally reasonable, like low, like if we're talking like
Most
slows,
of the time it's unpicked though.
Yes. Oh, obviously.
Yeah, maybe
most
they're
of the time it's
sleeping on
unpicked.
it.
That's why I'm saying it's almost griefing. But like,
Someone took
Battle
it recently
Hunger.
and it wasn't good.
Battle Hunger is a slow.
It's kind of good in lane, low key. It's a 7-second duration at all levels.
What, are we
not
going to start
horrible.
drafting this now after reading it?
Maybe I will.
Every single time someone's had that in their build, they don't level it.
Yeah.
When you get infested,
They
you
should
just
have
don't
one
level it.
value point in this spell in lane.
I know, but
All right,
that's
guys.
it.
There's your Immortal Gamer tip of the day from Sean.
Get one value
Everybody
point.
start drafting open wounds.
Yeah.
One value point
One
in open
value
wounds will secure the laning stage.
I think we go situationally reasonable. We could put it anywhere in there. I'm not upset at it wherever it goes.
Sean, it's lower. Come on, homie.
I guess it's pretty low.
I'm thinking.
It gotta be above nature's attendance. That spell is horrific.
Hey, that can heal your team about the same as open wounds can. Come
I
on,
don't
man.
know, dude. It has to be better.
It's
than
reliable
nature's
at least. Open wounds is not reliable.
Yeah.
attendance. Keep it below enchant. People
Blow
get upset.
chant. Okay. All right.
People will get upset.
All right. Next up's overcharge. Don't pick it unless you're on an IO because they nerfed it so that it only works on an IO.
Yeah, it
So-
basically does nothing.
Awesome.
AKA, it's basically
Max
unpicked
out
or
the-
actively bad unless pairing, and the pairing is you're on an IO.
Yeah, but when you're on an IO, it's
Decent.
actually pretty damn
Yeah.
good.
But-
Especially IO carry. You get the crit
Yep.
creek facet, you get attack speed.
Yep.
All of a sudden,
Spell.
you can walk in and start chunking somebody down with your IO. right
14%
click model.
spell amp too on that. Just a nice little cherry on top. But
Yeah.
I think we put it anywhere in unpicked, actively bad unless pairing. I'm happy with any ability that needs to be on the hero
Yeah.
is basically in.
And I think
Okay.
it's better when you get on a hero than other
Yeah.
ones, so I'm going to put it near the top.
Sounds good.
Next up is Overgrowth. This is a banger.
Banger. Eyes in the
This is-
Forest makes this such a good late game ability where you basically have vision of the enemy team.
Yep.
They
You
have
know,
to buy a gem.
Yeah, that you
They
force
do.
them. Turns the game into a vision game, which is obviously
An advantage.
an advantage. And fucking who likes that though? But
Yeah. I think it's also like one of the rare AoE stuns that goes through BKB and kind of forces you into buying dispels. And
You have to have a dispel against
Yeah, if you're rooted for like a whole like 3-second duration or 5
5
second
at
duration
max.
at
Yeah,
max,
it's a long time.
the fight is over for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, Eyes in the Forest means you can kind of get ambushed by it if you're not paying attention to the trees. And,
Yeah.
you know, then you have to start managing your Quelling Blade, swap it in, wait 6 seconds, cut a tree down, swap your other item back in, and
It's just an annoying spell to play against overall.
And it's a first pickable ability, I'll just say that.
I think it definitely could
It's-
possibly be in first pick, but I don't know if it is.
I think it's picks 1 to 2 games.
I think it's picks 1 to 2.
Yeah, not quite first pick.
I think it's
Sure.
close to some of the other stun hold like Fortune's End.
There's
Like
chaotic offering there about mid
Chaotic
range.
Offering.
I
yeah.
like it over Chaotic Offering.
You like it better than
Yeah,
chaotic offering?
yeah.
Yeah.
It is one of the better stuns, roots, holds, whatever you want to call it, with an added benefit of Eyes in the Forest. That's crazy ability, really.
What do you
Yeah.
think? Just under what?
Near macro, maybe? Oh, wait, sorry. That's picks 2 to
lower.
3.
Yeah.
Fatal Bonds?
Yeah, maybe just below Fatal Bonds.
I think if you take Overgrowth first pick on a support build, your team can't complain.
Yeah, no, they can't.
Nope.
I've seen Joel do it plenty of times. Just
It's good.
secure one of the best team fight alts in the lobby, and your team will have an advantage.
And if you're really trying hard, you want to make sure you wait until the enemies pop their BKB and then use it.
Correct, yeah. Because that's how you really get them, you know? Because
Yeah.
the BKB will dispel it if you put it on.
You gotta
the
watch the
advance.
enemy dispels.
All right, next up is Overload. This ability's kind of unpicked unless pairing most of the
Definitely.
time.
Yeah, it really is. It
The
really is.
shard is that even the shard anymore?
Yeah, it's
okay.
still
It
there.
is still the shard. It's okay.
It's fine. It's nothing nothing you're really gonna be like not happy with to draft.
No, combos with like some spammy stuff, like I don't know, maybe you draft Arc Lightning and then you
Ball Lightning.
If you have Ball Lightning.
Yeah, that is true. If you're running Viscous Nasal Goo, you know, something that's like
goo, yeah.
Or maybe even Sticky Napalm, something you can spam for like 20 mana. You get a decent amount of overload damage off in a fight because each attack will basically always be overloaded.
Yeah.
However, it's situationally reasonable at best, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely quite low.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can we compare?
Do you want to put it in the actively bad unless pairing, or do you want to put it in situationally reasonable? What are you thinking?
Like absolute bottom of situationally reasonable, probably.
The absolute trash tier. Of
The trash tier, dude. Look at
let's
some
go.
of these
Let's go.
abilities.
Okay, let's go above Call the Wild Hawk. Is what
Sean just hates Call a Wild Hawk. It is known.
Well, no, I don't hate it that much.
It's not a good spell.
No.
Next up is Overpower. Now,
this is a great one.
This is
our
a
last
good
O?
spell. No, we still have Overwhelming Odds.
Yeah.
I think this is also like one of those combo abilities where you get your Blade Fury, you get your Omni Slash, which we just talked about.
Dream Coil Eggs.
Dream Coil Eggs, yep. Anything that kind of gets unlocked by having a bonus 400 attack speed and just kind of sitting with it is really good. And honestly, on any right-click passive hero, it's just like a solid ability to have.
Especially range, just it's
Yeah.
much easier to get those attacks off.
Lobbing off screen like 6 attacks in a Metamorphosis because you have Overpower. I've done that and it feels disgusting.
Yeah, it's super good.
So that all being said, I think it's in generally picks 1 to 2.
1 to 2 for sure. Probably mostly as a 2, but sometimes denying the 1 from the Fury swipes or what have you.
This is borderline first pick.
I agree with that.
It could, yeah, we've seen it.
We've definitely
seen it. But where in the tier list, I think it goes near some of these modifiers.
Yeah, I was thinking
other
similar to
modifiers, the top
Geminate.
right, Geminate.
Probably better than Geminate though.
Yeah,
it might
5
be in first
attacks.
pick.
I think it's borderline like
Arc Lightning.
Katana. We know is broken in AD.
Yeah, Katana looks bad up there right now, guys. Don't worry, Valve will come and fix our game soon, right, guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, we still have heat-seeking missiles in the game.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it at the bottom of first pick.
All right.
I'm down to put one in first pick. We haven't
super
put one in
powerful.
first pick in a while.
How about we just go over Kazurai Katana?
Yeah, let's go over Katana just because they haven't fixed it.
Yeah. All right.
Spite.
Next up is Overwhelming Odds. Now, this spell went up quite a bit when they moved the attack speed from press the attack to Overwhelming Odds.
Yeah.
And it's especially good on Legion because of the Stone Hall plate. Of
Stone Hall
course.
plate,
We'll
so
just
good.
like mention, hey, it's good on the hero that it's made for. Who would have thought? But yeah, you can also cast it while dueling, which is something I think you put me on to because I like to pick first picking duel.
Yeah.
And yeah, the damage is honestly quite impressive if you have multiple heroes around.
It is a lot of damage.
Like a little mini Echo Slam.
125 bonus attack speed.
Yeah. Guaranteed,
Quite a
right?
bit.
Just baseline.
Yeah.
So yeah, for 6 seconds too. Wow.
It's a higher cooldown, 18-second cooldown, but it's still solid on any real. It'd be nice to be melee.
That's true.
But you can still take it on a ranged hero.
You can.
We've seen this dominate a lane even.
Yeah.
Even in the laning stage, somebody gets 2 levels in this, and you're standing near a creep wave with someone else, and they hit it, and all of a sudden you're half HP.
Yeah, melee heroes.
Couple right clicks come in, and you're like, oh crap, you know?
Cannot deal with it very well, for sure. Yeah. So I'm thinking generally picks 2 to 3. What are
2
you
to
guys
3.
thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
2
I'd
to
say
3.
2 to 3 probably.
So I think it's more damage, and obviously the Legion barrier makes it a good pick on her, but you can't really judge it too much off that. But I feel like it's like mid. I don't know if it's better than Hexes, is what I'm trying to say.
I think it's similar to maybe like Inner Fire, Blast Off area. I guess that would be over Hexes. I don't know.
I think it's better than Moment of Courage, is it not? Just overall for being like...
Moment of Courage broken. Who even knows?
Moment of Courage, yeah, it has that weird interaction
is
when you're
kinda
ranged
nasty.
where it procs 4 times in a row or whatever.
That is true.
Okay. I
don't
think
know.
maybe
I'm
like
down for-
here.
You want to go way up there?
Yeah, what do you think?
Beside Little Shredder, I don't think it's that good.
I like it below Brain Sap, maybe.
Say less. Joel?
Yeah.
Just knocking down
No,
a couple.
that's good.
Couple. We'll feel good about ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, that's the video for now, boys. You're going to have to wait the suspense to get to P. the P's, you know? There's some good
There's
ones
some
there.
high quality P spells.
Yeah.
Very high quality.
Dude, high quality P is everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're getting closer to the elusive S episode that's going to be like 3 hours long because they're all S's. But thanks for watching, guys. Remember to leave us a comment, you know, like, subscribe, check out our other videos.
Let us know what type of videos you guys want. At some point, we're going to be doing some draft analysis. I have a couple games picked out. So, yeah, maybe you'll actually get to see us play the game and yell at each other at some point.
Yeah, that'd be good.